You're listening to the Online Business Blueprint brought to you by platformlaunchers.com. I'm John Stange, and it's great to have you with us this week, as always, because here we talk about building and growing and monetizing your online platform. We talk about taking your passion, turning it into a platform so that you can earn a paycheck. And it's always a fun time to be able to spend this time together with you. And our topic this week, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can monetize a single blog post. I talk a lot about blogging, and so I want to walk you through that and give you 5 easy suggestions, and I would say kind of smart suggestions on how you can monetize a single blog post. This is something that will really maximize your efforts. So I want to offer these ideas. But before I do, I just want to invite you to stop over at platformlaunchers.com. You could get our free 21-day platform development planning guide. We've got a whole bunch of other things over there. You could even take a test drive of our membership community where we help people build, grow, and monetize their online platforms in real time. And you get to be part of our community. So again, platformlaunchers.com, that's where you can find all of that. So now let's talk about monetizing our blog posts. Well, you've spent time researching, you spent time writing, you spent time editing, you spent time publishing a great blog post. And I do this all the time. I post a couple blog posts each week. Others in our group here post blog posts with great regularity. But how do you make sure your blog post doesn't just sit there and gather dust? How do you make it so that it turns into something that has ongoing benefit, not just because of the information that it shares with those who might need the information that you've put together, but also how do you turn this into something that even just a single blog post can become maybe even a useful source of income or a powerful source of income? How do you do that? How do you make that happen? Well, whether you're a beginner at this, and I know that some of you that are listening right now, whether you're watching us on YouTube, whether you're listening to us via the podcast, maybe some of you are beginners, or maybe some of you have been doing this for a while, I want to walk you through 5, I would think, smart and proven ways that you can monetize a single blog post and turn your words into something that can become a residual source of income. By the way, I utilize all 5 of these approaches. And if you work your way through my blog posts, you'll notice these things making appearances in my blog post. But I utilize these things at length and with regularity. And I'll mention, even before I walk you through 5 ways that you can monetize a single blog post, I'll let you know that some of my best performing blog posts are posts that have been around for a while because they've been indexed in search engines and things like that. It's not always my newest stuff. It's usually stuff that's been around for a while. And one of the cool things happens to be that these 5 strategies that I'm going to give to you here are things that can become an ongoing long-term source of revenue for you and your blog posts. So I hope you'll find these valuable. And I'm just going to jump right into this list here. I've got 5 things on my list here. I do all 5 of them. I'll give you some personal examples, but let's start with number 1. And number 1 is useful whether you have products of your own or not, because you can use an affiliate strategy. You can do some affiliate marketing in your blog post. Affiliate marketing, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, I do talk about it with some regularity, but if you're not familiar with it, affiliate marketing is one of the easiest and most popular ways to monetize a blog post. If you look through blog posts that have been monetized, you will see affiliate strategies utilized in many of them. Basically, what you're doing in a context like that is you're promoting products or services, and you're using unique tracking links to promote those products or services, meaning if somebody clicks on that, they're going to be taken to a specific link that then gives you credit for the fact that you're the person that sent somebody to that particular site. So a reader clicks on the link, they make a purchase, and you earn a commission. It could be a very lucrative thing. I had a month, the month of March, just with affiliate relationships. This is only with affiliates, not with anything else. In the month of March, so just a couple months ago, doing this earned me $1,200 just from affiliate marketing, like I'm describing here. $1,200 just from utilizing affiliate links in blog posts and things like that. So let's give you an example. Let's say that you've written a blog post about kitchen gadgets, and you're somebody that, I was just watching a YouTube video, guy had all these different kitchen gadgets. And so let's say he turned that video into a blog post, top 10 kitchen gadgets for home cooks, right? That's his idea. If that's something that you put together, something like that, top 10 kitchen gadgets for home cooks, or something related to that, what you could do is you could utilize affiliate links for each one of the products that you're recommending for home cooks to use. And you could utilize something like Amazon Associates to create those affiliate links. If you're not familiar with Amazon Associates, write that phrase down, check it out. It's one of the most effective affiliate programs. I'll come back to that in just a second. But basically, every time someone buys a gadget from your link, you get paid. You also get paid for anything that they buy on Amazon for the next 24 hours because you're the one that sent them there. It could be a very lucrative approach. I personally use Amazon Associates all the time. Here's how I use it. I use it in my blog posts. So sometimes I'll recommend something right in the middle of the blog post. I also use it in my online bookstores. So if you go to my sites, you'll notice that the links for any one of the books that are in my bookstores, they're all Amazon Associate links. They all take you over to Amazon through an Amazon Associate link. And I also use Amazon Associate links in the descriptions of some of my YouTube videos. So I use those links, those affiliate links, in all three areas. I have to say it's one of the easiest, one of the most effective ways to earn income online. And if you aren't incorporating Amazon Associate links into your blog posts, I think you could be missing out on some very healthy income. Let me give you a few tips if you're going to do this. Number one, only use and only promote products that you trust and have used. You don't want to damage your credibility by recommending things that aren't things that you actually have any experience with. So only promote products that you either trust or have used. Secondly, place your links kind of naturally in your content. Don't force them. So as you're talking about something, you could highlight something, turn it into a link as it's part of the natural flow of your conversation, but place your links kind of naturally in what you're doing. They don't have to be forced. And make sure, if you're going to use Amazon affiliate links, make sure somewhere on your site in a prominent place you use disclosure statements so that people are understanding that you use affiliate links in your content. That's something that Amazon actually recommends that you do. They actually mandate it. If you don't do that, they will not allow you to be one of their affiliates. You have to be upfront about the fact that you're doing that. And so just put that out there. But those are some recommendations I have for you with that. Some affiliate programs that can help get you started. Obviously, Amazon Associates, that's the main one that I use. There's also something called Share a Sale. So all one word, Share a Sale. There's also Impact. There's also CJ Affiliate. There's also ClickBank, and there's a bunch others. I even have an affiliate program right here with Platform Launchers that I let people sign up for. And if they recommend my products to other people, I pay affiliate commissions. Many online entrepreneurs offer affiliate opportunities with their program. So I'd encourage you to check that out if that's something you haven't already utilized. But affiliate marketing is something that you should incorporate in your blog posts. Do some affiliate marketing. That's one way you can monetize a blog post. I'm going to give you 4 additional ways you can monetize a blog post. And by the way, you put that link there, it doesn't disappear. It just stays there, and you could be earning commissions from it years down the road. All right, number 2 on my list is this: display ads. Display ads will monetize your traffic passively. Um, if you're not familiar with display ads or display advertising, here's what I'm talking about. These are visual ads that you will see typically embedded within or around your blog content. And they're really easy to use because what you end up doing is you set your blog up with an ad network. So you decide which network you're going to work with, and then you basically earn money based on either impressions, so that those ads can track how many times they've been viewed because they load up, and so it tracks that. Or even more, you earn commissions when people actually click on those ads. So impressions and clicks both count when it comes to display ads. So let me use an example here. Let's say your post attracts 10,000 monthly readers. If you just simply insert display ads into that post, you're going to earn steady income even without selling anything directly, just by virtue of the fact that 10,000 people have seen that ad. But if they click on that ad, you're going to earn even more. Now, a few months ago, it occurred to me that I was not effectively utilizing display ads in my blog posts. And I kind of set it out as a goal that I was going to offer more display ads and advertising through my blogs, as long as it wasn't something that was intrusive with the blogs. And so I basically set out to find a partner to team up with. And I ended up making an arrangement with a company called Clean Media. And the reason I decided to work with them is because they are an ad network that's really easy to get set up with. They actually set it up with me, and basically showed me what to do, and they just jumped on a Zoom call and got all squared away. But they're an ad network that carefully filters out their content and guarantees that it's family friendly. So that's why I decided to go with them. Google AdSense is another popular ad network. It's a lot of beginners use that one. It's sometimes, they do an okay job filtering stuff, but they're not perfect. But like I said, I prefer to use Clean Media. They're also the company that has Christian AdNet. That's all part of the same company. Some people use Mediavine. Um, these are different options that are out there that you can use for display ads in your blog post. Now, let me give you some tips for display ad placement. What you want to do when you're putting these things on your blog, you want to insert ads between long paragraphs or near the top and bottom of the post. So, between long paragraphs, at the top and at the bottom. You want to avoid overwhelming your readers with too many ads. If there's too many ads, it kind of ruins the effectiveness of your blog post, and it makes your blog kind of annoying to have to view. We've all experienced blog posts that have had too many ads on them, and they become practically useless. You also want to make sure that it looks good on a cell phone and on a computer screen. So test it out on both so that you can make sure that what you're doing looks good on both. Now, I will say this, ad revenue, if you're going to use display ads, it does kind of require a decent amount of traffic to be significant, but it's still nice as part of your overall recipe, especially when you consider it's one of the easiest monetization strategies to implement when it comes to blog posts. So that might be something that you want to consider if you're trying to monetize your blogs. A third option for blog post monetization are digital products. And specifically, it's the idea of selling digital products. These are things you create once and then you sell forever, especially if your blog post covers a topic that solves a specific problem. You can actually offer a related digital product, either something of your own or something somebody else has created. You can offer a digital product for sale. So that could be something like an ebook, it could be a checklist, it could be a template, it could be a spreadsheet, it could be an audio file or an audio book, even something like that. It could even be a mini course. I recently was selling a mini course, and I found that to be an effective strategy. So imagine, let's say you've just created a blog post on how to start budgeting for beginners, and somebody clicks on that, they read that. Well, you can also offer inside that blog post a downloadable budget planner or a downloadable Excel tracking sheet for $9.99 right inside that blog post. Just a digital product, a digital download that you can create once, or utilize something else that somebody else has created that you could be an affiliate for, and you could offer that right inside the post. I regularly recommend my digital products and my courses to my blog readers. That's something that, when it's appropriate, I'll put a link to it in the midst of a post. Many of you know that I host my blogs on Kajabi, and I sell my digital products through Kajabi as well. So it's easy for me to cause those things to talk back and forth. But there are other options and other services that can serve your needs or maybe serve your budget even better than Kajabi if Kajabi isn't for you. So let me suggest a few additional tools that you might want to check out. One is something called Gumroad. All one word, Gumroad. They are useful for selling PDFs. They are useful for selling templates, simple products, things like that. You can use Gumroad to actually sell those things as digital products right there through your blog post. There's also things like SendOwl, Podia, or PayHip. I know a friend that uses PayHip for some of the things that he sells, and those services offer some more advanced options. They also offer some email automation, but there's some tools that can help you sell. The key is to offer something that's highly valuable and highly relevant for your readers. So if your blog post attracts them with useful information, they are going to be more likely to invest in your digital offerings, and just selling a digital product as something that you recommend in the midst of a related blog post can be like I said, a third way to monetize a single blog post. A fourth way is this. This is the longer strategy, but it's worth mentioning in this context because I think it's very effective. Number four is build an email list and then sell via email. Now, this strategy takes a little longer, but blog posts can really make this helpful. This can be really profitable long term. So, what you do is in the midst of the blog post, you offer a free downloadable resource. So, typically, we refer to these things as lead magnets. You have that somewhere in your blog post. So, you use the blog post to offer a free downloadable resource, and in exchange, you're asking readers for their email address. And once they're on your list, you then send emails with regularity. It could even be a pre-programmed series of emails that include helpful content, product recommendations, even some affiliate links, anything like that. Now, let's say your blog post is something like this: 10 tips to organize your home office. What you might do is then offer a free home office setup checklist that they can download after they read that post. And then they download that, they give you their email, they sign up, they receive an email sequence that shares additional tips and maybe promotes something like a good desk chair or a desk setup or desk lighting or anything like that. And you could have some affiliate links in the email sequence that they receive afterward. If you're doing that, you're probably going to want to utilize like an email platform. Some of the most popular email platforms that many people like to use. Well, I use Kajabi because it's all built in. So that's already built into my Kajabi sites. But there's also MailerLite, Lite, MailerLite, one word. It's great for beginners. There's also ConvertKit. That's a very popular option that a lot of creators use. MailChimp is also an option that I believe it's still free to start utilizing up till your email list reaches a certain level. I think it's still free. But basically, your email list becomes a repeat audience that you have some level of control over what you promote and how you market, and you can market to them again and again and again. And as long as what you're marketing is helpful and relevant to their needs, they might be repeat customers, especially if you've served them well in the past. But a fifth way that you can monetize a single blog post, and by the way, you can do all these in one blog post, but a fifth way is this: sponsored content, where you can get paid to feature specific brands. Now, the way this works is like this. So once your blog starts to gain some traction, and you got to be a regular blogger for this to work like this, but your blog gains some traction, you could then start partnering with companies to create sponsored posts. So this means getting paid directly by a brand that pays you to mention them, and or pays you to review them, or pays you to showcase their product or service in your post, or maybe they even pay you to run a specific blog post that they have written. By the way, you could also update existing blog posts to include some sponsored content. So if you have something like, from a previous year, maybe you have something like best fitness apps for 2023, and you're saying, all right, well, it's not 2023 anymore. I need to update to this year. So you could update it to this year, best fitness apps for this year, and you can use as a sponsorship. You can maybe incorporate like a new workout app that's looking for exposure, that's willing to pay to be featured in your blog post. But if you're hearing me share this, you're probably also saying to yourself, all right, well, how do you attract sponsors? This is kind of interesting because I've done this with some different groups, and it ended up being more lucrative than many other means of monetization. It ended up being extremely lucrative. I had one sponsor that over the course of, I believe it was over the course of 2.5 years, paid me a little over $50,000 to be sponsored on my blog, to be featured on the blog. It was one of the more lucrative contracts that I've had with an advertiser. So if you want to do something like this and you want to attract sponsors, a couple suggestions I'll give to you. First of all, you're going to want to showcase your traffic to them. You're going to want to showcase your audience engagement, your niche expertise, that sort of thing. You're going to want to have some sort of a write up. Typically, this is called a media kit that allows people to see some of these details. So you're letting them know, here's my typical readership, here's how I connect with people, stuff like that. It's also worthwhile to reach out to some brands directly. Or if you're not super comfortable doing that, there's a workaround that you can utilize. You could list your blog on some influencer marketplaces. There's things like Intelli Intelli Influence. I think I'm saying that right. Intel Influence, all one word. INTELLIFLUENCE. Intellifluence. Or Tap Influence. That's another one. You can list your blog on one of those influencer marketplaces and hopefully attract some interest from some brands that might want to be showcased on your blog. Maybe you would appreciate that more than reaching out to different brands directly. Don't be surprised, though, if you regularly blog, if you regularly create content, some of those brands will probably start reaching out to you once they notice that your content is ranking with SEO and different search engines. They'll start seeing you and they're looking to work with people like you. By the way, this is also important just in interest of honesty and disclosures. Always disclose sponsored content very clearly. Make sure it's very clear on your website that it is sponsored content. You want to do that so that you stay compliant with FTC guidelines. You want to maintain trust with your readers. So if there's sponsored content on your blog, make sure you acknowledge that. But that doesn't hinder people from utilizing the content. It's just considered good business practices and also FTC compliance demands that we acknowledge sponsored content. But let me just wrap this up here if you've been thinking about this sort of thing. Monetizing a single blog post is not only possible, it's smart. And I just gave you 5 ways that you could do that. You could do all 5 in a single blog post. You've already done the hard part. The hard part was creating the valuable content. You've taken the time to write your blog post. The easier part is to incorporate some of these strategies into monetizing it. And you want to let that content work for you. And it could become every time you release a blog post, if you've got some of these monetization strategies incorporated into it, you could be increasing your income to some degree with each blog post that you release. By the way, just so you know, that's exactly what I'm doing. Every time I release a blog post, I have 2 primary blogs that I'm utilizing at present. And every single time I release a blog post, it has the potential, and it does effectively do this, it increases my income because I'm using these strategies that I'm referencing here. And even if I was only using one, even if I was just using display ads, that in and of itself is something that is just a great monetization strategy because the code is already built into my website now. I did that with the ad network. I don't have to do anything. I just write the blog post and it automatically puts the ads in there. But here's a recap of the 5 ways that I just suggested for you. And again, I utilize all 5 of these, and I hope that you'll consider all 5 eventually, or at least one for start, or to start, I should say. But affiliate marketing. So you're earning commissions on product referrals. That's number 1. Number 2 is display ads. You're earning passive income from ad views and clicks. Number 3 is digital products. You can incorporate selling downloadable tools and resources and courses and things like that through the posts that you're creating. I do that all the time with my digital products. Number 4 is through email list building. That allows you to repeatedly market to the people that join your email list. So you're building a funnel so that you could sell repeatedly over time. And then number 5 is sponsored content, where you're partnering with brands for paid placements. I would say if this sounds overwhelming to you, don't let it be overwhelming. I would say just pick one. Pick 1 or 2. If you want to be ambitious, pick 2. But for starters, just pick 1. And pick one that fits your goals. Pick one that you're comfortable with, and then scale from there. Maybe another month down the road, you add a second one, and then the third, the fourth, and the fifth, over and over. And understand that even a single well-monetized blog post can become a long-term income stream. It's well worth doing. So I hope you'll consider it. I hope you'll check this out and implement this into what you're doing. If you want more strategies like this, I'd encourage you to check out platformlaunchers.com. I have a whole bunch of stuff on the website, but I'd also encourage you, if you've been listening to us for a while, jump on board with our members club. We have a members club. We meet via Zoom each week, and we work through strategies and help each other build, grow, and monetize our online platforms. We'd love to have you as part of our group. You could find more about it at platformlaunchers.com. You could even take a 2-week test drive for absolutely free and see if you like it. But that's it for us this week. Thank you so much for being part of what we do here. It's always fun to be able to join together with this time via YouTube, via our podcast. Again, check out the website, platformlaunchers.com. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we look forward to catching up with you again right here next time. Take care.